It was a cold, wet Saturday in Ohio. One of those gray afternoons where even the wind felt bitter. In the small kitchen of the duplex, 15-year-old Lily stood at the sink, scrubbing the last of the dishes. Her hands were raw from the hot water, but she didn't complain. No one else ever did the dishes, and Lily had long since learned that speaking up only made things worse. She was just drying her hands when she heard the sound behind her, the dry crackle of plastic peeling off a roll. It was sharp, unnatural, like something choking on air. She didn't turn around right away. At first she thought her mother was wrapping up garbage. "Where are you watching from today? Kindly hit like, comment and subscribe to this channel for more." But then her mom's voice sliced through the silence. "You think doing dishes makes you human?" her mother, Denise, hissed. Lily froze. That tone always meant danger. She didn't answer. "Lift your arms." Lily slowly turned around and saw Denise standing there holding a black trash bag in one hand and a roll of duct tape in the other. "What?" Lily asked, confused. "Lift your arms." Lily obeyed. Saying no had never ended well in this house. She remembered the first time she tried. She was 8 and didn't want to wear her older sister's moldy hand-me-down shoes. She got slapped so hard her lip bled. Then there was the Christmas she asked why she only got a single sock while her sister got a tablet. Since then Lily had learned. Silence was safer. Denise slid the black trash bag over Lily's head like it was a costume. She used kitchen scissors to cut small holes for her arms and head. "Don't move," she barked when Lily flinched. "You fidget like a rat." Lily stood stiffly. The plastic stuck to her damp shirt. Then came the duct tape, tight around her waist so tight her lungs felt squeezed. Lily winced. At that moment her older sister Megan walked in holding a bag of Cheetos and scrolling on her phone like always. She looked up, blinked once and smirked. "EW. You actually look better in black." Denise laughed. Finally dressing her up like what she is. They didn't explain what they were doing. They didn't need to. Lily already knew. Denise grabbed Lily's arm and yanked her toward the front hallway. Megan walked ahead, opening the door like she was preparing a grand reveal. They stepped out into the gray afternoon. Cold wind slapped Lily's face as they walked through the narrow side gate, leading to the back alley. The same alley Lily had walked through every day on her way to school. It was always lined with overflowing dumpsters, reeking of beer cans and sour milk. "You said you wanted to leave," Denise snapped. "So leave. Go live with your people." Lily's voice trembled. "What people?" But Denise didn't answer. She opened the lid of the dumpster. A swarm of flies flew out. The smell hit hard. Old pizza, diapers and something dead. Lily barely had time to react before Denise shoved her forward. She didn't fall in cleanly. Her leg hit the metal rim. Her shoulder scraped the rusty edge. Something cracked in her wrist. She landed hard on glass maybe. It cut into her side. "Ow, please." "Shut up," Denise said coldly. "Garbage doesn't speak." Behind her Megan was laughing. They left her there. Denise slammed the lid and their footsteps faded away. Lily lay curled inside the dumpster, taped up like trash, her breath shallow and trembling. Her phone was in her pocket, but her hands were shaking too hard to reach it. The plastic crinkled every time she moved, attracting flies. One crawled into her sock and bit her ankle. She cried but didn't scream. She didn't want anyone to hear. Time passed, though Lily wasn't sure how much. The sky darkened. Her throat hurt from holding in sobs. The duct tape around her waist felt tighter with every breath. Then she heard something. "Hello." It was a man's voice. "Is someone in there?" The lid creaked open, letting in a flood of light. A man in a blue maintenance uniform leaned over the edge. His eyes widened in horror. "Jesus Christ. What the hell?" He didn't yell or look away. He gently reached in and pulled her out, careful with her arms, like she was something fragile, something real. "You're okay now," he said softly. "You're safe." The man brought Lily into the front office of the apartment complex nearby. He gave her a blanket, something warm to hold. She didn't say much, just that her mom had gotten angry. He offered to call the police. "No," Lily whispered. "Please, no cops." She didn't want to be taken away. She didn't want to end up in foster care or go to court where her mom would wear lipstick and smile sweetly and say Lily made it all up. "They won't believe me," she said. The man hesitated but nodded. "No cops." The next day Lily went home. Not because she wanted to, but because she didn't know where else to go. She walked in through the back door like a shadow. Her mom and sister were on the couch, laughing at something on the TV. No one even noticed her come in. Out the window she saw the trash bag still lying torn in the alley, the duct tape stained and wrinkled. She stared at it for a long time. That was the moment she changed. Lily didn't speak to anyone that evening. Not to Denise. Not to Megan. Not even to herself. She moved through the house like a whisper. Unseen. Unimportant. Just the way they liked it. She climbed the stairs, her legs still aching, and went straight to her room. She peeled off the blackened clothes, the ones she'd worn in the dumpster, and shoved them into a trash bag of her own. Then she tied it tight. She pushed it deep under her bed like she was burying something. Her skin still smelled like rot. Her wrist throbbed where it had twisted. But the real pain was somewhere deeper. Inside her chest. It felt like something had broken. Something that used to hope. That night Lily didn't sleep. She sat by the window, knees pulled to her chest, watching the alley below. The same alley where they left her. The bag was still there, torn open like a warning. She stared at it for hours. And as she sat there in silence, something inside her hardened. She didn't want to cry anymore. She wanted to remember. Remember exactly what they did. Not just with her mind, but with proof. Outside, the wind rattled the dumpster lid. Inside, Lily sat frozen, her reflection in the glass barely visible in the dark. She made herself a promise that night. This wouldn't be her ending. The next morning, Megan knocked once before bursting into Lily's room. "Mom says get dressed," Megan said, tossing a wrinkled dress onto the bed. "It's family photo day. She wants us to look normal for once." Lily blinked at her. "You mean the same mom who threw me in a dumpster yesterday?" Megan rolled her eyes. "God, you're so dramatic. You're lucky she even let you come back. Honestly, you're like a charity case." Lily didn't reply. She just stared at her sister long and hard. For the first time Megan flinched just a little. Like she saw something different in Lily's eyes. Like she realized she wasn't talking to the same girl anymore. At the photo shoot, Lily wore the usual hand-me-down dress, the one Megan had outgrown. They posed her on the far end of the family photo like an afterthought. The photographer kept asking her to smile. She didn't. She couldn't. The picture still hangs in the living room like a framed lie. After they returned home, Lily began writing. Every insult. Every slap. Every time Denise called her, it, or that mistake. Every time Megan tripped her or laughed when she cried. She kept everything in 2 spiral notebooks she hid beneath her floorboards. It wasn't for pity. It was for something else. Something she hadn't even fully imagined yet. At school, no one noticed anything different about Lily. She still walked the halls quietly. Still sat at the back of the classroom. Still got decent grades. But inside she was no longer just surviving, she was preparing. Then came the flyer. One of the counselors posted it near the cafeteria. Youth program for at-risk teens. Mentorship, resources, support. It was just a slip of paper, but to Lily it felt like a crack in a wall. A way out. She told her mom she was volunteering at the library after school. Denise didn't care enough to check. And so, Lily walked to the community center every Tuesday and Thursday, and began her real education. The program director's name was Miss Franklin. She was tall and gentle, with short gray curls and warm eyes that seemed to read Lily's thoughts before she spoke. One day she noticed the bruises on Lily's wrist. Miss Franklin crouched beside her and asked softly, "Everything okay at home?" Lily looked away. "Yeah. Just clumsy." Miss Franklin didn't push. But she started keeping Lily after class. Taught her how to rebuild a resume, apply for scholarships, and, most importantly, how to document abuse. "We help kids escape," she told her one afternoon. Without running away. It was the first time someone said the word, help, and meant it. And Lily believed her. One evening, after the other teens had gone home, Lily helped Miss Franklin clean out a supply closet. They stumbled upon a dusty box of old digital cameras. Miss Franklin smiled, handed one to Lily and said, "Take it. Use it. Tell your story. Even if no one sees it, you will." Lily nodded. She didn't know exactly what to say. But that night when she got home she set up the camera in her bedroom facing the door. She pressed record and sat on her bed. Nothing happened. But it felt like something had. Like she had started her own secret truth. One she could build minute by minute, frame by frame. Lily began recording everything. The way Megan barged in and shouted at her for breathing too loud. The way Denise smacked the fork from her hand at dinner, shouting, "That's not how normal people eat." The whispered insults. The slammed doors. The bruises no one asked about. She didn't plan to post it. She wasn't looking for likes. She was collecting proof, because words had never been enough. She had tried saying things before. Teachers. A school nurse once. But Denise always smiled her way out of trouble. And Lily had always ended up punished for lying. This time would be different. Then came the night everything changed. It was a Tuesday. Denise came home drunk after book club, which everyone knew was just wine coolers in her cousin's parked car. Lily was sitting on the couch reading when the door slammed open. Denise's eyes were bloodshot. "What the hell are you doing out here?" she barked. "Who said you could be seen?" Lily didn't move. Didn't speak. Denise stormed over, yanked her by the arm. Behind her, Megan stood holding her phone, filming it all like it was a comedy skit. "She thinks she's someone," Denise slurred. "Let's fix that." Denise grabbed another trash bag. Same brand. Same awful crinkling sound. But this time Lily ran. She didn't think. She didn't grab anything. She bolted straight out the front door and across the neighbor's yard. She ran until she reached the Redmonds' house, an elderly couple who handed out apple slices at Halloween. Mrs. Redmond stood in the hallway, TV remote still in her hand, mouth open. Mr. Redmond blinked at the black plastic still taped around Lily's waist. His voice broke the silence. What did she do to you?" Lily didn't answer. She didn't need to. Her arms were bruised. Her wrist was bleeding. The truth was written all over her skin. The Redmonds didn't ask many questions. They wrapped Lily in a thick blanket and sat her on the couch. Mrs. Redmond brought her warm tea, while Mr. Redmond quietly called someone. No police. Just someone who could help. Lily didn't sleep much that night, even on the soft cushions. The warmth was strange. So was the silence. No yelling. No slamming doors. No footsteps approaching her room. In the morning before the sun rose, she left the Redmonds' house and walked to the youth center. She waited outside, sitting on the steps until Miss Franklin arrived. The moment Miss Franklin saw her, she dropped her keys. "Oh my God, honey," she whispered, rushing forward. Without a word, Lily pulled the camera from her backpack. She handed it over with both hands like it was sacred. Miss Franklin didn't ask what was on it. She watched right there in the parking lot. No commentary. No music. Just the truth. By noon that same day, Lily had a lawyer. Not a state worker. Not a social case manager. A real lawyer. Someone who didn't treat her like a number. Miss Franklin had called in a favor. "I told him your story matters," she said. "And it does." They sat Lily down and explained her options. "You never have to go back," the lawyer said gently. "You have rights. There are safe places where you can finish school. Apply for college. Build a life." Lily nodded. She heard him. But she had one request. Just one. "I want to go back," she said. They both stared at her. "With you," she added. "Just one last time." The lawyer and Miss Franklin exchanged glances. They knew what she meant. She didn't want a reunion. She wanted a conclusion. So they agreed. A supervised visit. Quiet. Controlled. They'd bring documents, a camera, and witnesses. That afternoon, Lily walked up the steps of her old house one last time. Megan opened the door, still in pajamas, her eyes glued to her phone. She looked up and froze. Behind Lily stood the lawyer in a clean suit and Miss Franklin with a folder in hand. And beside them, a small red light blinked on the video camera. Inside, Denise sat at the table, coffee mug in hand. She looked up, eyes narrowing. "Who said you?" She stopped. Her expression changed when she noticed the camera. Lily didn't scream. She didn't raise her voice. She walked straight to the living room, picked up the crooked family photo and dropped it face down on the floor. "You always said I didn't belong," Lily said calmly. "So I'm giving you what you wanted." He turned to Megan. "You laughed when they taped me in plastic. You laughed when they called me garbage." Megan shifted uncomfortably. "It was just a joke." "No," Lily said, handing the lawyer a folder. "This is the joke." Inside were pages of documentation. Testimony. Video stills. Statements. But most importantly, a legal petition. The The petition was for full family disassociation. No custody. No inheritance. No name connection. They would no longer be allowed to claim her on taxes, use her name in public, or appear in any official record that linked them to her. Not in life. Not even in death. Denise went pale. Megan stood frozen. No screaming. No crying. Just silence. For once, Lily was the one holding the power. For once they were the ones discarded. "I'm not your mistake," she said. "I'm not your garbage. I'm free." And with that she walked out, this time for good. Lily moved into a small apartment above a flower shop. It wasn't fancy. The floors creaked and the heater hissed when it ran too long. But it was hers. She worked afternoons restocking inventory and studied at night. Miss Franklin checked in weekly. So did the Redmonds. They treated her like family, not the kind that wounds but the kind that heals. Mrs. Redmond even framed one of Lily's poems and hung it above their fireplace. Lily laughed when she saw it. She hadn't laughed like that in years. Slowly the ache inside her began to shrink. One sunny afternoon, Lily walked past her old street. She hadn't planned to. She was on her way to the store when she saw Megan standing on the porch alone. Her clothes were stained. Her hair messy. Her phone nowhere in sight. She looked lost, like someone who had forgotten how to smile. Lily paused. Megan looked up. Their eyes met. For a moment Lily considered saying something. A greeting. A goodbye. But she didn't. She simply turned her music up, lifted her chin and walked past without a word. Because now she knew, some people were never worth saving. Later that night, Lily sat by her window sipping tea and watching the street below. The world felt quieter these days. Not empty, just peaceful. He still had the camera. He kept it in a drawer next to her notebooks. Sometimes she thought about making something from the footage. A short film. A story. A reminder. But mostly she kept it for herself. Proof that she survived. Proof that she mattered. And in that quiet moment, staring out at the lights, she whispered, "I'm not garbage. I was never garbage. I'm gold." Lily began volunteering at the youth center. She helped younger kids with homework, ran art programs, and even hosted a workshop on digital storytelling. She told Miss Franklin she wanted to give back. But deep down she knew it was more than that. She wanted to be the person she had needed. The one who showed up. The one who believed. The one who said, "I see you." And every time a scared kid walked through those doors, Lily made sure they never felt invisible. Not like she once had. Eventually, Lily got accepted into a small college nearby. She planned to study social work and media. Two things that saved her life. She moved into student housing and decorated the walls with paper flowers and sticky notes that read, "You are enough. You are not alone. You belong." The nightmares came less often. The shaking hands stilled. Her voice grew stronger. And every time she looked in the mirror she saw not a victim, but a survivor. A creator. Fighter. Denise never contacted her again. No apology. No explanation. Just silence. Lily was glad. She didn't need closure from people who never gave her care. As for Megan, she dropped out of school. Word had it she moved in with a friend. Lily didn't ask for details. She no longer lived in their shadows. She had become her own light. One that no one could switch off. One fall evening Lily returned to the alley. The dumpster had been replaced. The bricks repainted. But she remembered everything. The smell. The fear. The moment she decided she was worth more. She didn't cry. She didn't shake. She smiled. Then she pulled a folded note from her pocket. She placed it gently behind the dumpster. Read. To the next one they try to throw away. You are not garbage. You are treasure. As she walked home under a golden sky, Lily passed people who never knew her story. And that was okay. She didn't need everyone to know. She just needed to keep going. To keep choosing herself. For the first time in her life, Lily felt light. Not like air. Not like nothing. But like someone free. Free from chains. Free from shame. Free to love the girl who used to sit alone in the dark, waiting for kindness that never came. Lily reached her apartment, opened the door, and was greeted by the scent of sunflowers from the shop below. She sat by the window, watching the last orange sliver of sunset disappear behind the roofs. In her notebook she wrote one final line. They tried to bury me in trash. But I turned it into soil. And I grew. She closed the book, turned off the light, and slept in peace. Moral lesson: no one gets to define your worth but you. Even when you are discarded, ignored, or abused, you can still rise, stronger, wiser, and more powerful than those who tried to bury you. Pain can be recycled into purpose and silence into strength. Remember to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more of this.